Hello, my name is Amy Casas, the Director of Communications for the Arlington Independent School District. We're here today at the Short Elementary Library, joined by Dr. Marcelo Cavazos. Hello there, Dr. Cavazos. How are you?
I'm doing well, Amy. Thank you.
Today, I just wanted to take an opportunity to talk to you about a lot of the new and exciting things that are going on with the school district. I know, for example, that next week some people might notice some visitors in their classrooms, and they might be asking themselves, well, what are those people doing here, and why exactly are they visiting my classroom?
Absolutely.
So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. What can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. Amy, as part of our strategic plan, one of the foundational pieces of that is a curriculum audit. And so next week we're actually having a site visit from the curriculum audit team. The curriculum audit team has reviewed documents and samples of our curriculum and things like that. A curriculum audit really is looking at our curriculum K-12 and pre-K-12 actually, and looking at all the different components of our curriculum, the instruction, the instructional delivery, the rigor in the classroom, the rigor in our curriculum, the alignment specifically of our curriculum to the state standards and national standards and things like that. And so part of that is looking at documents. The other part is interviews, and they'll be interviewing staff and principals, etc. And then the other part is a site visit, where they actually go into the classrooms. So once they've reviewed documents, then they go see in the classroom the type of delivery of instruction. All that in an effort to improve our instructional practices in the district and our curriculum and instruction. And so it's an opportunity for a district. It's that look in the mirror for a school district in terms of our curriculum, and to very specifically identify where there are gaps in our curriculum, whether those gaps are alignment or processes or development of curriculum and things like that, so that then we can improve. And so it's one foundational piece of our strategic plan in an effort to improve the school district. And so the thinking with all the components of our strategic plan is to make a strong movement to improvement of our school district, and curriculum is foundational to that.
So what are some other things that are going on this spring, some highlights? I know there's going to be a lot of things
Absolutely.
going on in the next coming year, but what are some major initiatives that people need to be aware of that are important to the district?
Absolutely. Amy, the first semester and part of the summer was devoted to planning and communicating our strategic plan. This semester, the spring semester, is really about those deliverables and those things that are actionable or action items in our strategic plan for year one. And as a reminder, it's a 3-year plan, and so we're in year one. So part of those deliverables, one is that curriculum audit we just spoke about. The other is a facilities assessment, a comprehensive look at every facility in our district, every classroom, every building in our district, to determine two things. One, the condition of the building, and then the other is the educational adequacy of the building. Condition of the building is dealing with the roofs, the floors, the HVAC and things like that. Educational adequacy deals with, are our facilities in such a condition that they foster learning for 21st century needs, as an example. And so that's the educational adequacy of our facilities and that review. That's another piece. So we have a curriculum audit, a facility assessment, and those are the deliverables. Another big component for this semester are surveys. Widespread surveys of our employees, of our staff, our parents, our graduating seniors, our seniors that have already, or students that have already graduated. So wide-scale survey of employees in relation to their workplace condition, and all in an effort for improvement. So these are the foundational pieces of improving the school district. So you have a curriculum audit, comprehensive facility assessment, and then the survey of our employees and our community and our parents to determine where are those gaps for improvement. The bigger question, that I've shared this before, the bigger question with these three foundational pieces is what we do about it. And so that's the bigger challenge and the bigger task. Obtaining all this information, yes, it's laborious, but we also know that the more important part of this work is our action and what we do about those gaps that we identify through these very, very extensive and comprehensive processes. Another thing that's been a highlight of this semester are the announcement of our 10 new career certification programs in partnership with TCC.
Yes, that's something that was kind of my next question was, you know, with all the success that we've been having with all the things that we're implementing with the strategic plan, one of the things that is new is those 10 new career certificate programs.
Absolutely.
Which essentially, I guess, is a step to giving students more options for academic success, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And those 10 programs, as an example, are articulated with our community college, with TCC. And so they're a pathway to an associate's degree. So they're fully dual credit, every one of those programs. and they're of high interest to students. The HVAC, welding, automotive repair, collision repair, gaming and simulation, culinary arts. Those are the types of programs that we know our students are very interested in. We know the workplace demands for those are strong and based on our workforce needs. And so it makes sense to use our current strong partnership with TCC and use their capacity in their facilities as an example for our students to take advantage of those programs. So that really, those 10 new certification programs has resonated really strongly with our community and our students and our staff because it provides that additional opportunity for students. But more importantly, it's aligned with our strategic plan of having students be college and or career ready. And so that's an important piece to that. Another part of this semester, as part of the deliverables for our strategic plan, includes the announcement of an Aspiring Principals Academy, where individuals who are interested in our district, assistant principals or others, of becoming principals, they can join an academy, and it'll be a highly selective process for them to join an academy and be trained so that they're prepared to be a principal in Arlington ISD. In a few weeks, we'll be announcing our Aspiring Assistant Principal Academy. This is part of our strategic plan as well, is to make sure we develop our leadership in the organization and help people that are aspiring for leadership positions, help them be prepared and help them be prepared in the things that we expect in Arlington ISD. Another deliverable is dealing with our instructional model. And so we have work being done, and it's going to continue and expand in terms of a committee to develop and design the instructional model that's consistently used pre-K-12 in Arlington ISD. Again, that's one of those foundational pieces so that when we talk about instruction and when we see instruction being delivered, that we have a consistent model for AISD. And we begin to develop that Arlington ISD way of instruction consistently throughout the classrooms. So there's a committee looking at the best instructional models and what makes sense for us as a district in terms of instructional model. And that's part of this semester and the work that's being done this semester as well. So those are some of the very tangible deliverables for year one of our strategic plan.
Well, that sounds like there's a lot of exciting things. I know that another thing that the district has prided itself for many years on is being able to provide choice for our families.
That's correct.
And something that I know a lot of people out in the community are excited about is the expansion of our transfer program here in the district. What can you tell me? What changes? What's different this year for transfers?
Absolutely. Two big changes for our transfers. Number one, allowing students who live in the city of Arlington but are not zoned in the Arlington School District the opportunity to transfer into our schools tuition free. And so that's one big change in terms of our transfer policy. The other significant change is the fact that we've opened up our secondary schools to transfers. For a long period of time, many of our secondary schools have been closed to transfers. And so we feel that we're in a position now to be able to open them. Now, the slots or the openings vary by different campus based on their facilities and their size of their school. But it's important to open up those secondary schools for transfers. So in essence, all our schools are open for transfers except those affected by boundary changes. And the reason that the ones affected by boundary changes is to simply allow those schools to basically become consistent in terms of their enrollment prior to opening them up for transfers. But the big exciting part of that is the fact that we've opened up all our other schools to transfers, specifically secondary, and we've opened up transfers to students who live in the city of Arlington but are not zoned for Arlington ISD tuition free.
And I know another thing that parents are quite excited about is that the district is getting ready to launch a new way of communicating with them via text messaging. And that's going to be for employees as well. So why do you think as a parent, because I know you have children in the district, why do you think that's important that the district's now going to be able to communicate with them via text for relevant and timely information?
Absolutely. And Amy, it parallels our students in terms of we know that our students are living in a world that technology is a big part of. And so we know that our parents, that's similar for our parents. And so having a way to communicate to parents when there's an important information, whether it be weather related or crisis related, another way of communicating instantly to our parents is critical for a district our size. When you have 64,000 plus students and 8,000 employees and a number of parents, it's important to keep that communication seamless, as seamless as possible. Offering the text message as a component that allows us to then communicate with parents with important information. And that's one where parents will opt in. And we, from the communications department, will make a strong effort to keep those text messages relevant to important information. And that's one other way of communicating with our parents, and that I think is vital for the world we live in today.
And you mentioned, you know, the advancement of technology. I know that one thing that the district is also working on is the initiative of allowing students to bring their own technology to school. Why do you think that's a good and positive thing for the district?
Yeah, absolutely. It really allows students the opportunity to use technology that we know they're using at home for their classwork. And so it's very much based on the teacher allowing the students at every individual classroom to bring their own technology, and then when the teacher feels it's appropriate in terms of instruction and the lessons that they're engaged in, that they will allow students to use their own personal technology devices to then enhance the learning process. Because we know that at home, and we've done this through focus groups and other ways, that we know that students are using this technology to basically complete their assignments and things like that, to do research. And so we're taking the power of that technology that we know students use at home and allowing it in our classrooms to enhance the instructional process in our classroom. And so we've also made a commitment that if you don't bring your own technology, that the classroom will have enough technology to support all students that are engaged in a certain lesson. And so you're not required to have your own technology device, but if you want to bring it and the teacher allows you to use it for a specific assignment, then it enhances that learning process.
And finally, Dr. Cavazos, you know, we know there's a lot of great things happening in the AISD. So where do you see the district heading 5 years from now? Where is AISD going to be?
Absolutely. Amy, the district becoming that premier district, absolutely. And within those next 5 years, that we have a system in place where we have good feedback. And these processes that we described, such as surveys and curriculum audit, that work begins to drive our efforts, that it's very aligned and very consistent, and that we're meeting the needs of students in a variety of different ways, in new, different ways to meet the needs of students, because we know that students and their needs continue to change. And as an organization, as a district this size, we must continue to change as well. And so these feedback loops are very important, and I think that's something that's very positive as part of our strategic plan. Also knowing that our strategic plan is a 3-year plan, and so soon becoming the work of building the rest of our strategic plan and for the next several years out. But always keeping in mind the focus that meeting the needs of students so they can excel and meet their maximum potential. Another way of saying that is that regardless of the exams or the state structure or the accountability systems, that our students are performing at very, very high levels, and that our focus is specifically on those students and their success. And so I see great things for Arlington ISD in the future.
Well, great. Well, that sounds wonderful. Dr. Cavazos, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. And I hope that everybody, you know, finds this information useful. I'm sure they will, because there is a lot going on.
Absolutely.
And we're definitely moving full speed ahead. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Amy. Appreciate it.